Hi everybody, well this is some good news indeed. We've just had the patch notes for PUBG update 24.2 and they are removing the Bluechip detector, or as it's more commonly known, the heartbeat sensor with this update. So let's dive in and let's see what they've got to say. So it's going to be going live on July the 12th on PC and on console July the 20th. We're going to have the normal map changes, which is good. And here we can see tactical gear. Balance changes to made to certain tactical gear, and that change is the Bluechip detector has been removed from tactical gear. Excellent. And if you've been away from PUBG, basically what happens now is when you spawn in the game, when you take the parachute down to the ground, you can choose to take one of the pieces of tactical gear with you, and they were the Bluechip detector, which is the heartbeat sensor, the EMT gear, the repair kit, and I can't remember its name, but there was one that allowed you to carry like another weapon as well. And obviously in solo games and in other games as well, the Bluechip detector was really the thing you would take, because the ability to be able to see where enemies are, that's a no-brainer, isn't it? But thankfully they've decided to take that out. So let's have a look. Dev's comment: greetings players, the in-game dev team here to discuss the latest update to tactical gear. Throughout the years, PUBG Battlegrounds has continuously evolved, seeking to introduce diverse gameplay experiences beyond what has become the standard. Our goal has always been to ensure that all players, regardless of skill level, can feel like they're meaningfully contributing to their teams. As part of this mission, we introduced the tactical gear system. This unique addition allows players to strategize and adapt their approach based on different situations and equipment types, enabling each team member to also take on fresh roles. Although there was the spotter scope as well, wasn't there? And I think the drone. So these are things that you didn't have to find on the map. You could just choose which one you wanted. You would take that into the game, and you would have that for the whole of the game unless you died and were brought back. Tactical gear has received positive feedback since its launch, but we observed instances where players had to sacrifice their primary weapon slots to make room for tactical gear, leading to challenges in combat. So that was when they originally put tactical gear in, which basically meant that people weren't using them. Balance issues also emerged with certain gear like the spotter scope and tactical pack. To address these issues, we made several balance adjustments and introduced the renewed tactical gear system in update 24.1, which was the last one. Our intention was to underscore the strategic aspects of the game and offer players more options to personalise their playstyle, enhancing the diversity of the gameplay. And that's what I talked about before. So with update 24.1, you could choose one of these things. It was almost like having a perk in Call of Duty or Battlefield, something you could take into the game that you didn't have to find or earn. However, we've been receiving substantial feedback post the 24.1 update, suggesting certain tactical gear was excessively potent. We first wish to clarify that we approach any balance adjustment with a comprehensive analysis of community feedback and gameplay metrics across all maps and modes. This process also applies to tactical gear. For instance, while certain gear was more favoured in smaller maps or with solo players, it was less popular in larger maps and team play. The Bluechip detectors was one such tactical gear. According to our internal data, it was particularly popular in smaller maps and solo modes, though it ranked lowest in terms of win rates across all tactical gear. It provided a significant advantage during early combats by making enemy location easier. This ease of locating enemies, especially among seasoned players who rely on sound play and world terrain for positional awareness, was seen as diminishing the tension of the game and causing stress as it exposed their locations easily. We'd initially planned to monitor the status of tactical gear post the 24.1 update to gather more precise metrics, but the feedback and the actual in-game usage data led us to conclude that the stress caused by the Bluechip detector was significant. Consequently, we've decided to remove the Bluechip detector in this update. So that's interesting. So what they're saying is actually the Bluechip detector, if you were to rate it in terms of who actually won games, what they actually had with them at the end of the game, the Bluechip detector would have been the bottom of that list. But what they do get right is the idea. I mean, they call it stress, don't they? But maybe you call it, I don't know, anger, frustration. One of the big problems with PUBG is, and any battle royale, is you're spending half an hour playing a game, and if 20 minutes through that game, if you've been looting up and maybe you've got a kill, or maybe you play very defensively like myself, and then you die in a suspect way. So someone shoots you and you think, well, how do they know I was there? Then that leads to real frustration, and they call that stress, which means that you don't want to play the game anymore. And I felt that way about the Bluechip detector or the heartbeat sensor. Even just the idea that they had put this in the game so that most of the people on a server could have a heartbeat detector puts me off playing PUBG, because I'll just play something where I either respawn faster, so it doesn't matter if people have got heartbeat sensors, or I'll just play something completely different. And in fact, I don't think I played any of the last update at all, because I couldn't stand the idea of spending all that time looting up, getting in a good strategic position, good tactical position, and then someone knowing where I was because they had a heartbeat sensor on them. So they're taking that out. They're not saying how they're going to put it back in again. I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, I'm all for the idea that you just have it on one particular map. I really like the idea with PUBG of that each map has a special thing about it. It may be that Destin, that might have been the map that had the Bluechip detector. That has the Bluechip detector. It does spawn on it, and you can find it, and you can use it. And then on another map, like you have the volcano map, don't you, where you have the lava, and then you'll have Miramar, which is massive. So they all have a particular thing that happens that's different from the other maps. So you not only have the difference of the different terrain, but also some slight different gameplay as well. But going on, with regards to the EMT gear, we recognise that it was over-adjusted in the 24.1 update, as we previously determined this gear had overly potent features, such as self-heal boost effects and reduced time for teammate healing and revival. Therefore, we have carried out minor enhancements. So they're saying that the medical tactical gear was too strong, and they've nerfed it. Lastly, the all-in-one repair kit has proven its worth as a valuable tool, enabling players to repair crucial equipment in various situations. Our metrics show it was one of the most effective tactical gear, recording the highest win rate among all. Thus, we've decided to reduce its usage limit in this update. So I guess that was because what you really want to be doing is repairing your vest, repairing your level 3 vest, repairing your level 3 helmet, and then you're more likely to win, aren't you? That's what obviously the clever people were going with. Item, the Jammer Pack, which was previously available on all maps except Sanhok and Paramo, will now also be spawning on these maps following this update. Okay, so it sounds good. This update is obviously just a stopgap when it comes to tactical gear, and they're probably deciding what they want to do with the Bluechip detector. I mean, I would say put it in a supply crate that comes down on a parachute. Make it difficult to get. I mean, that's what I would say. Arcade. The arcade has undergone a significant overhaul this update, allowing simultaneous operations of multiple game modes. Multiple game modes are now playable in the arcade: Team Deathmatch and Intense Battle Royale. Previously serviced and future labs modes will be accessible through the arcade. Changes have been made to the arcade UI, which includes the arcade main page and mode lobby. The main page shows all currently active game modes. The mode lobby is a dedicated space for understanding of the mode rules. Now, they don't say it in these patch notes, I don't think, but if you watch the video, and I'll put a link to the patch notes in the description below this, they do refer to there is a new arcade mode, which is basically search and destroy. So I don't know why they haven't put it in these notes. It could be that with release it's not going to be there straight away, but it'll be small teams, objective base with a bomb that I guess that you've got to plant and defend, or as the other team you've got to defuse. So that should be interesting. I know that Wacky Jackie made some fair points about it, saying, well, do we really want to be pulling people away from the core Battle Royale side of PUBG? And I think he has a point. You get more rewards for playing arcade. We can go through there. A little bits about training mode, reputation system. They're still going on about this. You can now complement other players, reputation rewards, match ranking and stats, more customization. Yeah, not really bothered. We've got some preset slots, and then we've got the workshop, performance bug fixes, and that's about it really. But there we go. So what I'll do is I'll put a link in the description below this video to the patch notes so you can read them and watch the video yourself. And I don't know, I think it's good news. It's good news they've done something about the Bluechip detector. They've done something about the heartbeat sensor. I am now more likely to go back and play the game I love, PUBG. And in fact, I'm looking forward to doing so. But what do you think? What should they do long term? Because the problem they've got now is they've got this Bluechip detector, which is tactical gear, but they've changed the mechanic of the way that tactical gear works now, with the fact that I don't think you can just pick it up in the match. You can't pick it up off dead players or anything like that. So they've got this piece of equipment that they've got no way of people using, so they're just going to get rid of it in its entirety. Fine by me. I think they should get rid of the Bluechip detector, the spotting scope, and the drone that spots people. There should be no automatic spotting or anything like that, I don't think, in PUBG. But anyway, that's just me. What do you think? If you've enjoyed the video, hit like. If you want to see more of the same, press subscribe. And of course, I'll see you again soon.